fuck is this? Okay, now that we got all that nonsense taken care of. So, for everybody watching right now, you get to just see me start out with what I like. Whoops. I'm on the wrong one. You guys get to watch the whole shit and caboodle. That's the beauty of the way I do things. So if anybody's there watching right now, you get, yeah, I had to sell Ideanomics before I had that little dump. I know you guys seen my sale. I seen it on the chart. I'm like, damn it, it's not going to hold the 202 line, so I had to dump it. Did not want to, but now we could go down to 180, and I certainly don't want to drop for that 11%. But they're crashing the market, so it is what it is. Oh, my songs are gone, except for 3. Well, that's okay. So, I wanted to start out like this. Alright, so we'll get to the updates in a sec.
I wear glasses 'cause I'm so cool. I can predict the charts. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days. Join Tom's Army for $9.99 a month.
Good early afternoon, everyone. T-Speaker 22. Little Mother's Second Choice in the background. This is copyrighted music by Mr. Anthony Carter and Mother's Second Choice, so do not copy that in any way. I have expressed written consent for Mother's Second Choice and Anthony Carter. Oh, yes, I do. So, Mr. Carter, if you're watching, I appreciate it. They're a very, very, very talented band out of Australia. Go check them out. They're often touring. So, as I was saying, T-Speaker 222, XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XM and Future Digibyte OG. I found it a much-needed time to go live. I'm really going to enjoy this live. I see, oh boy, I see we've got much chat, so I'll get to the chat in a minute. Obviously, hit that subscribe button if you're new, if you're just tuning into the live. This will be the best experience you're going to get on YouTube because I don't fud it up, I tell the truth, and I show you time-tested technicals, and you can go back into my history for the last 7 months. I'm the most accurate person you'll ever see. I care, and I want to make sure everybody's in the proper position for 2023. So with that being said, make sure to hit the like on this live stream. Check the video description. There's my other content, the ISO headquarters, where I discuss all the ISO coins. And we're going to delete all of this right now on XRP. Oh yes, we're going to redo it so every single person new in here can see how we came to the conclusions and how it time and time again continues to hit the same spots. So make sure to subscribe if you're new or returning. Only 13% of my audience is not subscribed. So to the 87% of you that are watching that are subscribed, give yourselves a pat on the back because that's absolutely tremendous. Also, It'd be nice to pick up one new member of Tom's Army on this live. Just one. Just one. Just one. Or if you don't want to subscribe to Tom's Army and you just want to pay it forward and send a donation so I can throw it into the community fund and build it up more, I've got some XRP tokens that are ready to be sent out, and we're up to $135 in the community fund right now, so that is fantastic. So I can get out about 5 or 6. I've already got like 30 in my possession, so... As you guys know, I've sent out about, and I haven't talked about it in a while, but the community fund's starting to build up a little bit now, so I can start talking about it again. But I've sent out about 134 XRP tokens to my followers, or my most influential subscribers that I've come to, you know, pay attention to, and they've been helping out my community. So 135 people, many of you may be watching, who could say, yes, in fact, I have. If there's anybody watching, because I don't know who's watching, who's got an XRP token, share it in the comments. Tell them I'm not full of shit. So, off of this Ultimate Bear Pennant, guys, and this is what it keeps happening, guys. We keep coming between 65 and 63. That's why I keep saying 65, but it could go to 63. But off of this one, I'm really seeing a confluency down to 63 or 65 cents. So when I start to see these numbers and they keep, you know, adding up over and over and over, I can't ignore it. And then I like to do this. You guys know I like to overextend, because then we can ride back up, and this can be the uptrending resistance. I mean, uptrending support line right here if it were to stay on it. And then we've got the downtrending resistance that we're going to draw on here as well. And I want you guys to keep seeing this so you can see how we're getting into these numbers. And with XRP, since I am the XRP Future Millionaire, most of my content is on XRP, XLM, DGB. It's just that simple. XRP, XLM to a greater extent, XLM to even a greater extent. If you want to check out the ISO coins, I have an ISO headquarters that I created, and it's up to almost 300 subscribers now, 4 shy. And that covers all of your ISO coins, and then including some other networks that are very, very important. And then also, if you want to check out other content besides XRP content and you're not interested in the ISO coins and you want to just get a general breakdown of everything, including the ISO, XRP, and everything else above and beyond on crypto, I have a Swing Traders Anonymous page that is 4 subscribers shy of 700 that I started about 2 months ago for those very reasons. So see, guys, we're getting these confluent numbers, 65 to 74, although that is twisted a little bit, so this would be 73. I pulled it down. Damn it. It was like... It was barely... It would have been around there. I don't want it to be way down. So, I mean, we're getting a lot of confluency with these numbers, guys. And when you start to see this, you know, this is where you start to be like, okay, we got something going on here. So, we got a bigger bear pennant and then the smaller bear pennant. And they're both leading us to 73 to 65. So our next move looks like it would be to 73 to 65, and think about it, or to 73. And then what if you got another small bear pennant that forms somewhere around 73 to 80, and that's what leads you down to 65. I think we're going to keep getting these same things over and over and over. And XRP is the biggest bitch out of most of these, because if you look at what XRP was presenting itself with, even though I called for a crash way back here, XRP was calling for something huge way back there. But it did what XRP does best, and it flipped the script. So that's what we're looking for with XRP. That's why it's so important for you guys to pay attention. And for me to go live right now, even though I'm busy, I've just put my son to lay him down for a nap, so hopefully he cooperates. But it's important for you guys to see this, because if this drops without you guys seeing it, you're fucked. And then like that mild breakup, I came on right after my update this morning, because this morning I came on and said, there is a chance that we could bust back in here and start trading like this. We did not even do that. We had a fake breakup, which often happens, went up to the 200 day, which I'm assuming was right there. I don't use the MA lines because I am the EMA line, but I'm going to almost be willing to guess that if we go and put these EMA lines, they're I know we had a bearish divergence, which is where all the EMAs cross below. The 200 day comes below the short-term moving average, and that's ultra bearish. We had a bullish divergence a few weeks ago where the moving average, the short term, came through the 200-day, which was bullish, and that propelled us up to about $1.07. Where does this propel us down to? If you're going to play it that way, you got to play it both ways. So yeah, look at that, guys. Right up to the 200-day. Or the, what is that, the 100-day. So yeah, it came right up to the moving average. That's the 100-day. That it came right up to and got rejected. And now it's playing the short-term moving averages as support resistance. And it's going to break through these. This is so bearish. Very bearish. But that's in the 4-hour. Let's see what it did in the 1-hour. We broke through the moving averages in the 1-hour. Yeah, so in the 2-hour, we came up to the 200-day, and that's where we got rejected. I wonder what it was like in the short-term moving averages. That's why I don't like the moving averages, because you can go to any single moving average that fits your agenda. Oh, it hit it in the 2-hour, but then you go to the 4-hour and it's way off. You know, I went to the 3-hour and it, oh, nope, didn't even make it. But guys, I was doing it in the 2-hour, came right up to the 200-day. So I just feel like you don't need the moving averages. You can be the moving averages. You should know. The moving averages, in my opinion, make you lazy, because now you're expecting it. Once you start expecting the charts to do something, it ends up... You don't want to expect. You want to keep updating your technical analysis. That's like taking steroids when you're lifting weights. Hey, I'm gaining weight and muscle, but in reality, it's a lot of water and fatty tissue that starts building up, and then you're fucked. Anybody take steroids and stop taking them is not a pretty picture. I used to train a lot of people that were on steroids that I would have to stop training them because they would go into the back room of Bailey's and shoot up, and it used to annoy me. Like, all right, guys, you can't come in here anymore. I'm not dealing with this shit. They used to get mad, too, because it was an accepted thing at Bailey's. One of the reasons it closed down. So, all right, I'm going to look at the comments because I didn't realize I was on for so long. But who knows? Maybe somebody subscribed to the channel. Maybe somebody joined Tom's Army. Or maybe somebody sent a blessing and a donation for the community fund. I don't know. Hell, even somebody liked, I'd be happy. Hell, if even 10 people are watching, I'd probably be happy. So let's go see. Let's go see the damage. 40 people? Yeah. See, Payne actually sent a donation. Project M41 4 days ago became a legendary supporter. That's only the third person who's ever done it at the legendary perk. That's $99.99 a month to show appreciation, and he's been around forever. Holy smokes. I don't know if you're in here, Project M41, but thank you so much. Dr. Shantae, re-upping in Tom's Army. I know she's been in Tom's... I think you were in Tom's Army before, but... becomes a member of Tom's Army once again, so that fulfills our one member. I can now be done with the lot. No, I'm kidding. I really appreciate that. That is a very, very, very... She's a very strong example of our very attractive and very, 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 very intelligent female audience. So I thank you, Dr. Shantae. I follow her on Twitter as well. C. Payne, $19.99 through Super Chat. My man, thank you so much. I love the blessings. I love the blessings. I love my audience. All right, so let me get through these comments because that's something I do. Miami Shizzle first. For Shizzle, welcome. Thank you for being first. Wazim is second. Live your dream. Good day. Good day to you too, sir. Kareem, welcome in, my guy. D-Man, what's going on, brother? Greetings from Belgium, Miami. Miami Shizzle. Wow. Welcome in. Welcome in. Wazim, my guy, what's up? JW, welcome in. Always with the inspirational comments on every single one of my posts. Lewis. Not to be mixed up with Lewis. That's how we know where we're going. Lewis. This is good, Lewis. Everybody loves Lewis. Lewis, what's going on, my brother? I'm glad you're still around. Olga, what's up, love? I'm so glad you're in the live. One of my biggest supporters. Even when my channel was trying to find a way, she was always there. Uber Houston, my guy, made a lot of content for my channel. What a guy that guy is. Welcome in, Mr. Houston. Sean Campbell, welcome in. This could very well be the crash, Olga. JD, my guy, I've got a special update for you right after I get, well, you know what, I'm on JD right now, so let's go to JD. JD, COTI. I have not forgotten. We're going to delete all of this. And we're going to go based on what we see right in front of us. So like we were talking about before, JD, I firmly believe that we have to come back down. And we already touched it once. You remember, we touched it down. Where were we at? We came down. Let me get to the proper time frame. I don't want to be in the 2 hour. Because we're doing this sideways and up now, Cody. Or JD on COTI. So the problem is with this, when you start doing this sideways and up, and the volume's not really increasing, this starts to become like a wavy flag. This starts to become the end of the pennant. And we broke the top side of the pennant, but I have a feeling we're going to break down out of this. I really do. And if we do that, we can do a little bit of, does anybody want to see inaccurate technical analysis for when it breaks back through the pennant? We're going to do some inaccurate technical analysis. But you see what's going on here in this time frame. I believe it's still coming around. And that was like kind of the, like we were talking about before, before we did anything. And that could be kind of like a head starting to form, like this Bart Simpson top. But I'm going to do some inaccurate technical analysis that will actually probably be very accurate. But I don't advise you to do this at home. Because this is not something that I would necessarily say, oh, this is what you got to do. But I believe it's going to play out this way. And I'm going to show you why in a second. So on this pennant, and now people will probably leave, but that's okay. On this, if we come up here, and this is before we ever broke out. You know, you got to take into account that the rest of this didn't happen. We have this downtrending resistance. And now you come down to the bottom where we had our biggest drop. So we came way down here. No problem, no harm, no foul. We come all the way up, and we use this, and we say, hey, if it breaks through, that could be uptrending support. But that's the resistance line. So if it's on the top side, it's on the wrong side. So that means we're still in a dangerous spot here. So we bounced off the downtrending, supposedly resistance line where it broke in, right? And this pennant, and we came across. And now we're using the uptrending support as support. But once we break back through, then we become in this trading range, guys. Ah, son of a bitch. Gotta love trading view. But JD, once we get back into this trading range, here's where the issue becomes. And we'll do the pennant and the size of it after and all this other nonsense. But here's the thing. Like, this has an 85% chance to break up out of this formation. I think it's going to break down. So I'm going against the technical. So right now it looks great. But I believe this is a fake up. So even if it rises to the top, I believe it's going to end up breaking back down and start riding this wedge. So what ends up happening is, right when it breaks down in here, then you can start having an expanded break. But because we're going to be up here somewhere, I believe it's just going to come down and catch people off guard and hit that line. And then what happens when it falls through and confirms that that's going to be a failure of the pennant. Right now, this is nothing more than a fake up. Nothing more than a fake up. Because it created a second pennant right off the top. So you could even say, hey, but then it invalidated on the way down. So it was a fake break up. So then, when you start to measure this, and you're like, okay, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, you could go right here, but it's actually a much bigger pennant if you actually look at this. It's much larger. So, if you were to break up, and I got ripped in the comments because a lot of people said, you're a fucking moron, it's going up to almost $1, and now I see why they said that when you break it like this. So, yeah. If it did what it's supposed to 85% of the time, this is supposed to break up to 85 cents off of this bull pennant. But what I'm saying is, with what it's looking like, it looks very much like it could come back into here. And confluency always makes more sense to me. And if you look, this comes right back down to right down in here where we made the W on the fake break up. So this almost looks like it wants to come right back down. But you have to take into account that as long as it's riding the uptrending support, it doesn't have to break down. It could, in fact, make a big head to the top and complete this bull pennant. So it's 50-50, in my opinion, whether it goes down off of this instead of going up like it should, which to me is bad odds because it's supposed to be an 85 to 90% chance to go up. What is this? Hey, Megs, thanks for the $9.99. Holy smokes. 2 donations in 1 live stream and a new subscriber. I'm blessed. Blessed. Doesn't matter if it was 5 cents. The point is you're giving me your hard-earned money for the cause. Not giving me, but putting it towards the cause of the community. And that means a lot to me. So, you're looking at this and it's like, okay, Tom, well, you're showing me all this. What's the best case scenario? Well, best case scenario is this runs out like the bull flag and you're up at 85 cents. Worst case scenario is it starts doing this, riding this uptrending, and can never break this spot again, basically. Son of a bitch. You know, it can't break that spot, and then it starts bouncing around in it, and then it creates this, like I was saying, you have another pennant that technically could have been formed that you could have done on the second part when it broke up. But now you're trading within this kind of flag, and as it starts bouncing off the top a few times, we've already hit it 3 times in this area now. So now it's becoming a problem, and each time it pulls back. So eventually, unless you break out with some kind of volume, you're going to break down. So, you know, you start doing this, and then you can even have a fake breakout, and then bam. And then likely, if you were going to break up, you have to start riding this line and then come pop up. So it would come right back down to where the cross was at. So your apex zone is where you measure it down, but it can keep riding like we've seen, but once it breaks down, it's a disaster. So I hope that helps. I'd be looking for that 0.2791 after a potential breakdown back into the pennant, because I believe Bitcoin is going to crash all of this stuff. And with what's going on right now, this has been a healthy pump, and I hope everybody's capitalized, because you can buy the retrace, but it is so fucking dangerous. So dangerous in this scenario. But hey, I can only show you the technicals and show you what can happen both ways and give you the best and honest opportunity. So JD, I hope that helped. Sean, OG of the 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 motherfucking OGs. Oh yeah. You are definitely an OG from the very beginning. So long ago. Enzo, welcome in. What's up, my brother? Olga, la la la. Yeah, yes, sunny days. Well, I'm glad your daughter's enjoying some sunny days. My 8-year-old was singing Sunny Days. Well, Julie's daughter that I've been with since she was 1. But she sings the Sunny Days now when she goes back over to her dad's, which is funny. Kumar, welcome in. My guy, the most talked to guy on Twitter that I talk to. Every single day we're talking back and forth. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I know it's like, what is it, like 1 in the morning there, probably? Mr. Frenzy, welcome in. Spanish Escapades. Sold 3/4 of my bags waiting for this job. I think that's a really good thing. I think it's a really good thing. Oh, it is. JW, well, I already said welcome to JW. And Sean Campbell. Oh, welcome in, my brother. Future XRP billionaire. Well, I mean, it's not impossible. It is not impossible. Tom Nixon, welcome in. Carrie, welcome in from New Zealand. I hope you're doing well. Absolutely, I will. I don't know if I can do it on here, but I'm going to have to do it on my... Here, you know what? Just for you, and we'll go back into the charts, guys, because I still got a good... I know I said I was only going to be on for like a half hour or 45 minutes or whatever the hell I said. But you can't trust what I say when it comes to how much time. There you go, my friend. And also, JD, you deserve it. So, hey, everybody, there's 66 people in here. Hit that like button. So, let's see, Mr. Brocock. Brocock, welcome in. Bear trap in action. People think it's going to follow previous fractal. Then the whales will move when people least expect it. Hold and do not sell. Hey, it very well could. But with what's going on in the current time frames and what's going on with the U.S. government about to shut down tomorrow into Friday. Who's Mira? She was somebody who was in here that was doing stuff. and spamming the crap out of this. And then she's the one who filed, she donated through YouTube and stuff, and she filed, what was it? I don't know, she said that her money was taken or whatever when she had to donate it. So she filed like a, I don't even know what you would call it, a dispute. Somebody I don't acknowledge anymore. Somebody who stabbed me in the back. C-Pan, I appreciate that, $19.99. D-Man, Songbird on BitTrue is treating me really well. Nice, nice, nice. ICP. Exactly, Mr. Anderson. Rohit, welcome. I'll never forget you. One of my strong, strong supporters from India. Multiple supporters from India. ICP, ICP. IQ, what's up? I just seen you on the bottom of the list. Guys, and if you want to guarantee me to do one of these, because I get a lot of questions, hey, send a little donation on the live. I've done ICP before. Oops. But I mean, we can do it from the top, but we're going to do it out of the smaller pennant so I can get back to the comments. We're just going to do it out of the smaller one just so we can see what's going on. And we've already broken down out of it a little bit. We've had multiple ones. We had one up there. So yeah, this is just kind of taking its journey down right now. So we've broken down, but we're going to take it as if it hasn't broken down yet. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. You're going to ride this anyhow. As you guys are going to start to see with the way I do this, there's a reason why you go so high up, because then that becomes your uptrending support if you were to ride it. And then at the same time, if you come back up to it on the bottom later on, it's your resistance line. And it works out very, very well. Sorry, I'm just making sure on the 4 hour that we're in the right spot. Because if you're not accurate, then you're going to miss the numbers, and then this whole thing is useless. Then you come through, because then when you're coming down again, that can be the downtrending resistance that it's using as support if it went over the top. And then at the same time, you've got that uptrending support that right now it seems to be running as resistance. And that's never good, but you could always trade back in between, and it's always good to have this, because then you can start trading between the wedge until you break down. So now we got to get an accurate depiction of where we're going. And just from the technicals, this is a bear pennant. And it's telling us we're going to break down just based on what we're seeing. But this is just from a technical standpoint, guys. If we had a manipulated pump by the whales, well, you know what? That's what happens. But 85 to 90% chance this is breaking down, which means there's a 10 to 15% chance this can go up. So that's what it's trying to tell us on ICP, $34.02 once you break down. And it's riding the pattern pretty nicely. I think, though, if it did dip down, there's going to be some of these that have monumental cup and handles that are filled out. So we just have to pay attention, so hopefully that helped. What, the $5 from the paying you with my XRP card? No shit. Well, isn't that some shit? Are you really? Well, that's awesome to see that work. And KOA, $4.99 through Super Chat. You are awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you guys, seriously. That means a lot. Tanja, welcome from Spain. Jason from Australia. That's where Mother Second Choice resides as well. Very, very, very talented bunch. Mika, I 100% agree. I can't speak of them, but I 100% agree. Jason, because of you, I will. I have it ready, so this talk's for you, Jason. I'm going to light my joint that I have on deck, that I always have when I go live. For the 65 people listening right now, I do appreciate you, and we're going to go back to the live in a second, but I'd like to acknowledge my entire audience. Justin from Australia at 3 a.m. What a guy. What a guy. I have approximately 10 billion coins, Mika. Robin Kumar. He's watching me from India as well. Lewis, exactly. 1 million coins. Good morning, John. Yes, 100 million to do a 10x. Yes. That's what I'm trying to do. Actually, no, it's going to be much greater than a 10x what I'm trying to do. Exactly. While you're here, consider the $9.99 to pay the piper. Exactly. Carrie, 5:55 a.m. on a Thursday in New Zealand. Holy smokes. It's only Wednesday here in the States. And they say parallel timelines don't exist. There you go, Lewis. That is exactly the biggest thing, because in a normal flowing circumstance, COTI or COTI or COTI or whatever the hell you want to call it, that is actually in a very nice formation, but now it broke outside of it and it's giving you warning signs. When it starts doing that sideways and up, like the waving kind of the flag on the top with no added volume, that's a big signal that it's going to collapse to the downside. That is exactly what the bulls do. If you, and like I told everybody too, Lewis, with COTI, I got ripped because I said it was going to go back down and that there was going to be a chance to buy it for a possible bounce back to the top. We thought it was going to come back down because I didn't have it drawn out like this, but we had it down to the 48 cent roughly. I don't remember. JD asked me, and it was up here, you know, over here, and it had made a push up here, and we talked about possibly being able to get back in. But it was risky. But then it did make a dive back to like $48. And we talked about it could bounce off that support line, and it did. And I think JD actually wrote it back up and made another 16 to 20% on it. So there was opportunity, but you have to buy it at the right time. And this certainly would be a huge fucking risk. That's not. If XRP is really sending 100 million, 98 million coins to Hushi and China, you don't want to. You definitely don't want to see that. Look what XRP did. It jumped way up and came right back down. So hold on, I'll get back to the comments, but I wanna get to the charts real quick. I wanted to do two things. So if you guys are part of my channel and you haven't checked out the ISO headquarters, we're up to almost 300 subscribers now. It's been flying very quickly. We cover a bunch of things, but I'd like to go over just a few. With ISO coin, so with Quant, we've done some great analysis. This is a head and shoulders topping reversal that we diagnosed when it was up there. We thought initially it was going to go up, which it did, but we thought it could go up higher on the new bull flag. But we talked about after that we were actually going to break down because we discovered that it was a head and shoulders topping reversal. Now it's on the right shoulder, and the next logical move out of this is down to $195.62, and we've been on this for a long time. In fact, we were on this before the bounce up at $177 when it hit that support, because I was getting ridiculed, and I told Charlie in particular, because some people were down because they didn't get on XRP at 52 cents. I said, here's your chance at $177, you guys. Buy Quant, and you're going to at least 1x your portfolio. And I ended up doing much better than that. They ended up like 1.5 times in their portfolio. So I have a lot of experience with Quant. Seller, somebody asked me to add Seller. I'm going to do an update on this in my ISO headquarters, because I want to do a up to the minute, up to the date with that, with the person who asked me to do it. So just for future content, the Seller network's been added to the ISO 20022 headquarters, because I'm adding certain networks onto there, and I think the Seller network actually is pretty interesting. And at the price point, it definitely belongs to be up there, you know, with the Stratus and Matic, even though they're much more developed. This is something that could come down in the, you know, down the road. And then you've got Quant, which leads the ISO coins from there down, which it's not technically on there as an ISO, but it is an ISO. It is on there, but most people don't acknowledge it, but it is actually what helps Ripple do what it does for XRP, XLM, and all the rest. So then we got an ADA projection, and ADA is a mess on my chart because I'm not changing it until we break these patterns, because I have 3 different ones where it's got to break down, and they all stay confluent within the pennant. So, and this is a perfect example how ADA rode this uptrending support line as resistance and then finally fell through and then came down to its actual support line. And now it's going to come fall through. And the next move, we had 202 for a while, even when it was at 240 when it made that move up. But then the real move is down to 179 now that it came to support. And then the ultimate moves to 152. And then we got to see how the market reacts when we get down there. Algo. Again, we have the next move to $1.21 and then 89 cents. Algo is the one that was a red flag to us because initially we thought it was going to break up. At the initial part of this pennant, we talked about this breaking up. And it was interesting because had it have broke up, we had a significant move in the making, guys. And we had a 307 target, but it was up to $3.51, but a 307 target. And then we fastly discovered when that W was made, I'm like, you know what? I think this is fucking us all because of market conditions. And we fastly changed course. And I told everybody, I know we're looking to ride it. And once it got up to that 218 or wherever it was, close to it, 210, I told everybody, this is going the opposite way. And this is a trap based on market conditions. Everything is leading to a crash, including this. So we had to go back. We diagnosed it. We had it down to $1.80 originally after the breakdown. It came down to it, and then it created a couple pennants. And the first pennant says we're going to $1.21. So that's what we're going off of. But the overall pennant on a breakdown, instead of going up to $3.50 area, you know, now you get to see exactly the implications. And you're talking about just sub 90 cent algo. And that's what happens. If you don't have somebody who knows the charts, they're just going to go based off the tactical and say, hey, 85%. 90%. Everybody on YouTube was crying that algo was going over $3. I remember because that's why I started doing it more. And that's also what made me, between Iota and Theta, how people were covering it very poorly, and XTC to that matter. The ISO coins were being covered so poorly that I had to make an extension and create the ISO headquarters. That in the last 2 days since branching it off from the Dogecoin and You channel, which had a 232 subscribers in 3 weeks, which was doing great. But those are ISO coins anyhow and they're part of the Flare network. So I expanded it to the ISO headquarters and it's exploded to 396 subscribers. So we've gotten 60 plus subscribers in the first 2 days of the channel, which is unbelievable. So that's why you need to check out that channel, because a lot of people were saying algo was going to go way up, and initially I thought it was going to go to $3. And you see how we ride that uptrending support line if it were to ride it, and that can get you up to the $3 mark. And then what I like to do is overextend these, like I said, and then this helps for future, guys, for the future, not now, but for future. If it were to break down, you can ride this, and that's supposed to be the support. That can be the downtrending support or resistance line all the way down to there. Just overextended, and then the farther out you get. But these are vitally different than when you have a bear pennant, the way that you can bounce in between them, because it's broken down. So now it has to hit the broken technical target down. And now it also shows you this was nothing more than we took the elevator up on a head and shoulders pattern. We have a rounding on the top for the head, and now we have a right shoulder because we took the stairs down. That's all this is showing you. So that's what we're looking at for technical targets out of algo. And that's why it's absolutely vital to go check out the ISO headquarters, because I do this every single day now. So with Iota, is a big mess. We've had this so perfectly diagnosed that I didn't even want to delete it because of how perfectly it's following that line that I drew and how it was going to break down. Like, look at that. So, but I'm going to, begrudgingly, because we have to redo it. But again, Iota was another one that had made it look like it was on a bull flag. And we had to diagnose that out very early, otherwise we're going to get wrecked. After all, it's an ISO coin, it's safe, but not under current market conditions. So we have two pennants that we broke into that we must measure. that are going to break this in, and it's going to bust this wide open to where you understand exactly what's going on with Iota. And yeah, I'm coming short on my time now, I understand, because I got dad duties, and with my fiance, with her car accident, as some of you know, most of you know that are in here, she's had 4 surgeries on her foot, and yeah, she's about to have a 5th one because her foot is basically collapsed in, her talus is fucked, she can't walk really, so I deal with that. But I love my YouTube, love it. I love all of you. I love doing it. I like making sure that we're all on the right track. I fucking love it. So as you see, like we always talk about, if it doesn't drop initially and it's a fake down, it can bust back up into here, and then it rides the resistance, it starts bouncing around, and look what happened. It found some volume, bounced in here, rode this downtrending resistance as support, right? And then it's got the uptrending support it bounced up to and used as resistance. Because of how it's breaking down now, does it have another move in it? I don't think so. But that's what's been going on, because now it broke to the downside of it. But see, this is a perfect example of what we're talking about. And then when it broke down, let's see what the technical target was. Because this is the kind of technical analysis nobody will show you or explain to you, but this is the kind of technical analysis you need, you desire, you fucking crave. So the technical target out of that move was 95 cents. I mean, look at how perfectly it pointed you in this direction, guys. You can't make that up. Look how it pointed us in the direction of where the fall was. Even if it doesn't make it all the way down, you've measured this out from way up here, knowing what it was going to do, and saved yourself better than 44% drop. Just right now, so you can pat yourself on the back if you followed that. And then from right here, it's still another 10% it's got to drop. So that's the first pennant it's telling us we have to go. So what's the second pennant telling us? And yeah, we're not in the daily, but if you know what you're doing, you can start doing this in the 4 hour and becoming more confluent. And confluency is a great fucking thing in crypto. So now same thing, we start riding this. We come all the way back up, because after all, we could complete a cup and handle way up there, right? So why not have the uptrending support riding all the way up? And the funny thing is, guys, you see that line we had coming all the way down that almost finished through here? That actually worked out almost to the T where I would put this next line. I would have literally put it right here. So look at the confluency, guys. Look how close this is. If that's not confluency, I don't know what is. So you start to get these patterns that play out, guys, and it becomes scary when you start to see this. So now we draw the flagpole. And we came down, had some bounces up. So I like to do it from here where we never had another bounce above it, instead of having some misinterpreted number. And now from this drop, hold on. I thought it was going to go down farther. I really did. I thought it would go down farther. I started there, which is too high anyhow, because it came up, and then we have a new one here. Did I not go down far enough? Or was that exactly how far? It's just not going to go as far as I thought. Shit. Ah! Well, now I'm going to have to restart. Doesn't that suck? Sorry guys, but I like to be very accurate, and I just pulled that out on accident. So okay, so it's a little bit below it, but 95 cents and about 9063 on those two. So I mean, you talk about confluency, guys. Could that not be a slightly descending double bottom that plants firmly for Iota? and it might plant firmly at 90 or 95 cents. But look at, and the other W in the pattern, it comes right down to the middle. So when you start to see this stuff, because it even tells you right here, we got to come back down and deal with this part of the pattern. So, I mean, when you start seeing this confluency, don't you feel a hell of a lot better with what you're looking at with Iota and feel a little more confident with the technicals? Because you're starting to understand them. And then if Iota were to somehow bounce back up, you could theoretically try to trade between that, but you're more likely to get rejected by this. And you would overall ride this, from what it's looking like, all the way down to the 96, 95 cent. But you see how that works? And now you created a descending fractal all within it. So that's what I mean. It creates all this stuff for you. And then you've got trading ranges. It had an upper support, lower resistance. It was trading within it for a while, dropped in between. Once it broke down levels, it kept breaking down. And then confluently, if it couldn't break above those levels, it would crash. So I think that's a beautiful interpretation on Iota. And another reason why you need to go over to the ISO headquarters. That's just a quick update on what I do on that station. Darren, donate. Thanks, Tom, for all you do, mate. Really appreciate it. Patiently waiting for the crash and low. Darren, $10. Are you shitting me? I don't know what that translates into the U.S. Does it say? I don't know what that means. Let me go to the YouTube real quick, because I don't know what the other one means either. Ah, the run guys. We wipe our nutsack on them. Alright. $10. I believe that's $10. $100. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? And win. Welcome in. My buddy from YouTube, or from Twitter, I thank you for tuning in. He's so on the charts. So on the money. I'm going to do XDC in just a check. I want to try to catch up to my audience. She didn't since the last dump. Well, hopefully she speaks to you again. Good afternoon, Mr. Crothers. I've been talking a lot about you in my updates because you led me in the right direction with Theta and opened my eyes even more because you've reminded me that it only has a 1 billion token circulating supply, and that is something that must be paid attention to. We have 69 people watching and 63 likes and 3 dislikes. All right. I like the people even when they're disliking to get their word out, get their inner peace out. So XDC for my aforementioned promise, and then Mr. Crothers, hang around because I'm going to go to Theta for me and you and Solana because you're my homie. So you see the M-topping reversal at the top of this pattern. You need to go check out my ISO headquarters because I cover this, my brother. I actually covered this morning. And we can see what's looking like on, I don't know why this came apart a little bit. You guys can see where it's supposed to go through at the top, right there. No, no. There we go. So that's the apex zone. So you got to make sure that that's accurate. So you see we had one fake down. And this gives us every reason why we should break up. And that's in the 4-hour. But in the daily, you can see the bull pennant form beautifully. I took that part of it because we did have a minor pullback before we had the ultimate break up. So you can see several different characteristics, even in the weekly, where this should have broke up. This should still, it's showing you every sign why XDC should break up. I'm just saying with market conditions and what's going on, I believe that this is going to give us every reason to break down, and creating that M-topping reversal right there is kind of interesting, but I believe it's still going to have one more big bounce in it. Because if we come down here, then we bounce back up to 13.8 roughly. If you look at that, this could potentially still leave you with the bounce from that, and I don't want to leave you guys screwed, so we'll go a little higher at like the 12.5. But if you go from about the 12.5 area, and it had a bounce to the top side, let's just say it had a run-up and reconfirm this, you could have 16%. But it's more likely on a run-up, you're looking at the 7 to 10%. And it's just simply, for a longer standing time frame than most, has been doing exactly what we talked about in a pennant. Trading between the pennant. Every time it got closer to the bottom side, right, and then it would end up doing that by the end of it. And it's very possible that's what we're looking at before a breakdown. So that's what I'd be watching for an XDC. That is one where the potential breakup is over 22 cents, and I know most of YouTube is saying that, and I understand why. There's an 85 to 90% chance that this breaks up. This is just my own personal knowledge, what I've taught myself, and obviously a lot of people you see in the comments call me the GOAT. I don't necessarily know if I agree with that. It hasn't been long enough. That'd be like Tom Brady's the best quarterback of all times after his first season in the NFL or his first Super Bowl. How about you give me a few years and let me run this course, and then you can call me the GOAT. You can call me it on the way there too, but let me prove myself up until 2023. Obviously, that would take commitment out of you guys, but that shows the commitment I have for each of you. This is never going to change. And I have other sources too. So you've seen when I got suspended for the week, I had my Swing Traders Anonymous. That's now up to almost 700 subscribers. But I also created another alternate source in the ISO headquarters, which is the first of its kind on YouTube to cover the ISO points particularly and only. And then for Mr. Sean Crothers. So I hope that helped with XDC. And I can do this all day. I love doing the charts. But this is what we were discussing in class, Mr. Crothers. In my technical analysis class, because I teach a YouTube class on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's $50 a month, but there's 8 one-hour classes a month. And I've got students that have been in there for, we've done 41 classes now. It's only $6.25 a class. And if you know anything about technical analysis classes, it's upward of $800 a month. Or several $100s for a 1-hour segment. But like that, there's no point of that. So if I'm charging that much, how is anybody going to learn technical analysis that has no money? Even if you have money, why should you have to spend that fucking much money to learn the charts? I do it for my time. If it wasn't for my time, I'd do it for free. Plus, you have to make a living, and I got 3 kids, so you know how it works. So, Sean, this is what we were talking about. We have the 2 break points, and I'm very convinced. And in the long grand scheme, and the grand scheme, as Robin pointed out, or Ravine, I apologize if I say that wrong. I've been doing it for months. But as he pointed out, it can go down to $2.52, and that is technically a breakdown zone in this pattern. It absolutely is. But when we're looking for a firm double bottom in this right now, the here and now, from where it actually corrected itself, not a wick, but a real double bottom, how it went down to $3.67. And then we have this tight winding, and it's confluently telling us that we're going right down to $3.67. Like, it's something that cannot be ignored. Like, there's too much stuff that's adding up in this area now. It really is. It's so crazy, and it's confluent that we're going to have a huge pump for Theta. So from $4 down, you really should be buying it or pumping it in, because it really looks like we're going to complete a huge cup and handle on Theta. And this is so far out ahead, I acknowledge that. But you're talking about a pump, guys. Even if it doesn't do anything and it only comes up and gets rejected at the bottom of the triangle it fell off of. And I was teaching my class yesterday and telling them this. And even from $3.71, if it gets rejected at this triangle at the bear pennant where it fell off, that's almost a 40% gain just to get rejected. If it comes up just to the pennant right here, just to get rejected, the second bear pennant, that's 90%. God forbid it comes up and completes this move to $10 again and gets overall rejected for a second time on this cup. That's 165%. On a 1 billion coin circulation, it doesn't take much to make that move. In comparison, it's 49 times harder to move XRP or 200 times harder to move Doge. So it really puts it in perspective on this next breakdown. It really does. So let's see what everybody thinks about that. And then I want to do Solana while I'm here. Because, guys, I could really do this all day. I wish I could do this all day, but I don't have enough support yet. But one day I will. One day I will. Because for 7 months, I think we're doing so fucking good. So fucking good. That's why I always tell anybody, if you're willing, if you want to pay it forward and join Tom's Army, I'm looking to get to, hell, 300 paid subscribers at the $9.99 level, and this would be full-time. Hell, even $250 I think I could make do. We're at 171 members of Tom's Army right now. So it's not like we're 79 members away from me getting here for a longer time and more lives. Oh, dude, XRP went crazy. And Shiba's going to be unbelievable for you, Houston. It's going to be unbelievable. Being on the Flare Network and an ISO coin, it's going to be crazy. Inside Millionaire, thank you so much. Joe Scozen, what's up, my brother? Holly, which is not Holly, that's his daughter, I believe. That is... Shit! Why can't I think of your name? Damn it, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to go to the YouTube. Dang! Damn it! I was going to say Tang, but I knew it wasn't Tang. Well, maybe it is Tang. Maybe that's how you say it. Damn, I was so close in my head. I should have just said it. He's my trading buddy on Twitter. He's so fucking smart. He's crazy smart when it comes to the charts. Stacy, welcome in. A member from class. Always good to have some people from class in here. I'll go back to the charts. I just like to acknowledge my audience. I know not anybody on YouTube does this, but I don't care if you guys leave. I would rather acknowledge my audience than not. CQC, I went all in and sold, waiting for the 75 down, 63 for the buyback. Yep, that's a perfect range, my friend. Perfect range to start buying and going 75 down to 63. Thank you, Mr. Houston. 1986 Baldwin. Been watching this channel in the background for weeks. The only non-delusional channel, technical analysis. Oh, dude. Thanks, Baldwin. And I like that you've been watching in the background because I like people to make me earn it before they become part of the actual community. Not to say you're not part of the community, but before you start putting your input and start putting like what you would think is like valuable information forward. So I appreciate your comment. Waiting for Theta to get to... I don't know what it is, dude. It's 100 something. That's what I was saying. I don't know what it translates to, but maybe $1, $10, but it says $100 on the screen, so we can just say it's $100. Ravin, you don't have to tell everybody. It looks like $100. Yep, Stacy, I agree with that. Theta at $4. 10 British pounds is $13.42. Dang, damn it. Okay. So some people were saying they lost the stream, but I feel like it's still going based on the comments. Let me just make sure so I can make sure. Oh, yes, I'm still on. Stacy, when did you... Stacy with the $20 donation. Holy shit. My guy from class coming in hot. Thank you so much. But Sean, real talk, what do you think about that Theta analysis? I personally would love to pick your brain real quick while you're on here. What do you think about that analysis? Because I know you are very big into it. And you've been watching it. Steve, what's going on? I'm glad you've seen the chat, or my tweet. And, hey, I deserve what I deserve. I deserve what I deserve, Stacy. And that $20, don't ever say I deserve more. That's your hard-earned money, and that $20 is valuable. That might as well be $1 million to me because you spent your hard-earned money. $20 is not just $20. You've donated more than $20 in the past, so imagine it all starting to add up. Yes, I know we need a Telegram group. I do. I definitely do. I definitely do. I am still live. I can't believe it, but I'm going to have to end shortly. I hate to inform everybody, just because I got to deal with my son and everything. But he is pleasantly napping right now. But I want to go make sure Julie's doing okay and smoke a joint with her and whatnot, because her foot's all fucked. So, but where was that comment? Matthew. Welcome in, Matthew. I knew I seen a different name. Matthew. been subscribed to the channel for the better part of, I want to say 4 months now, paid subscriber. Stacy's been around for 5 or 6 months. Since the very beginning of the supporters. Mr. Kumar, even though we shouldn't speak last name in his country, I apologize. You became you wanted to be a subscriber and a paid subscriber, and you wanted to do it your own way, and you did it, and I'm proud of you because you've been around for a while, and college student doing his thing, getting his stuff started in life. I know I need to pull the fucking trigger on Telegram. I do. I know, and Stacy's been around since the very first. I want to say you would have been my first subscriber if I wouldn't have made Julie subscribe. Cucumber, welcome in. You're welcome. You're welcome, Mr. Cucumber or Mrs. Cucumber. I can't remember. I apologize. Are you a Mrs. or Mr. Cucumber? Because you can either be doing the poking or being the one taking the poking. We don't know with the cucumber. Mr. Cucumber doing the poking. I will not tickle your little cucumbers. But, I wanted... Sorry, I'm hitting this joint. So, believe it or not, I just relit it. So, with Solana, guys, while I have your attention, Solana is what I'm also going to cover heavily with Theta and T-Fuel inside of my ISO headquarters because they're compliant with the ISO. At least Theta is guaranteed. Hey, what's going on? I'm doing pretty good. How's your walk going? That looks like it. I just got done. Yeah. He fell asleep, so now I'm just doing my my old YouTube thing. So, enjoy your walk, my friend. Yep. Sorry, guys. That's my neighbor. Love him to death. So, but we talked about we're going down to $92. I believe that's a fair point, down to 92. We had for a long time, as you guys know, until we fell into this bigger pennant. We diagnosed this out, and we had a target of $123, which it fell lower than. But we had a buy point of $123, and if anybody bought that, they had a nice pump up. It was about 20%. I should have bought that, but it didn't quite get to where I wanted, but it did, because if I would have waited for it to go down, you know, a little bit farther, if you would have bought it there, then you're talking about a 25% gain. So, this is what we're looking at. We talked about earlier, if it wanted to break up, best case scenarios, you would do something like that. I wasn't convinced it was going to. I told everybody I didn't think it was going to, but I have to be, I have to give you both sides. I thought it was going to get rejected like it did. But that doesn't mean now that it came back down to the bottom that now it can't do what we were talking about, because it gets a little more of a springboard. But with the current market conditions, I just don't see it. These are all so damn dangerous. And since I'm on, I know we talked about XDC, but I want to talk about, because guys, in my XRP Future Millionaire page, now that I have the ISO coins on their own lockdown, I have the other coins on my Swing Traders Anonymous, my XRP page, and I'm going to tell you right now what the main focus is going to be. The XRP, XLM, DGB, XDCs, and the ISO page. But that opens me up room now for my XRP page to consist of these 5 coins. And of course we cover Bitcoin because it does the fucking trend. But consistent updates you can expect on my channel from here on out on the Future Millionaire page. XRP, XLM, DGP, a re-inclusion of VeChain and ZIL on a daily basis. Now that I've opened up that on my XRP Future Millionaire page. Those are the 5 I used to stick to heavy before, and those are the 5 I'm going to stick to heavy again. The rest, the ISO coins and the networks, you can find on my ISO headquarters, and all the rest, the shit coins, whatever you want to call them, the up-and-coming coins, or just the overall look of crypto, where I'll bring in each and every one of these. I'll even pull an XRP from time to time. But it's the landscape of crypto. We talk about the crypto market cap and Tether. That's in my Swing Traders Anonymous, and that's almost at 700 subscribers. The other one's almost at 300. So I think the way we're breaking this down, it's going to be a very, very, very nice way to get every bit of information you want without fudding up every single channel on the daily. So let me know in the comments what you think of the XRP Future Millionaire expansion of adding VeChain and ZIL back on the daily with XRP, XLM, and DGB. So We already know DGB. We've been talking about that in XLM for days. 3412 we're going back down to. It's confluent. We've got several drop points that both point to the exact same fucking spot. I have that yellow down arrow. That's off the giant bull pennant. Or, I mean, the bear pennant. Sorry. DGB is definitely on a bear pennant. And that's the length of it going down to 3412. The smaller bear pennant it fell into, it just so happened to fall right to the exact same spot at 3412. So when I see confluency, I say this is what's going to happen. And then better yet, this is where we have to break from that double bottom and make a third point if we're going to make another move. So I think it's perfect. I think it lines up. And in fact, I think it's what's going to happen. V-Chain, I covered very extensively. I don't remember when, but I know I covered it extensively. And we talked about the breakdown out of here. And we've got two confluent patterns down to 7098 out of the lower pennant. But out of the top pennant, we have the overall drop down to 6453. I hope to see you guys on my XRP Future Millionaire page, which you're looking at right now for more V-Chain updates, because it's one of my favorites. It's one that I know is ISO compliant. But I want to keep it on my XRP Future Millionaire page because I have a special love affliction with XRP, XLM, DGB, ZIL, and V-Chain, as you guys know. And DGB. But ZIL and V-Chain is meant to be on the Future Millionaire page, and I've expanded it into that. And I used to do standalone updates on those, so expect more updates on V-Chain and ZIL as we go now. We're back to that time in history. And then our beloved ZIL, that's up about 10%. We have a lot of confluency here with ZIL. But because I did V-Chain full out, balls to the wall again yesterday or the day before, I would like to show you again how we get to the conclusions with ZIL. So if you're part of the Zilukio network, or the Zilukio community, or whatever, Zilukwa, however the hell you want to call it, I love that community. It's part of the reasons when I first started on here, I started talking about ZIL. We've had quite the fucking, look at that. From there, 58% just down how far it fell in one quick swoop. So, I mean, whew. So now let's get the technicals drawn out. So we had a nice big wick pullback here in the 4 hour. I like to go somewhat behind it. Then we draw it way back up to where the pennant would be. I mean, where the... It could come back up to inform that cup and handle, had it have not broken down, right? I think that's the best way to explain it to you guys from here on out. So there's your 1 point. The second point, we made a nice move up. We're going to come through almost the equal length so that if we're bouncing in and out, we can ride it. So now we've got both those points. Now we've got to measure the flagpole where we have the sudden drop. Don't take the green and come a little bit below so that you can under-evaluate, just so you can hit it in case it doesn't come all the way down. Now we've got that right there. So the biggest drop, it's saying overall is 6255. Now we can do this again, and we can be like, okay, what's going on here? Because you can see it's kind of riding this downtrending resistance when it comes close to coming here. Once it fell through, it had a nice little drop. So now we've got another pennant that we can technically, it's not 100% accurate, but now you start to see what you can do. You tried that again, and then you can start to maybe ride into a trading zone to the top side. You'd have to go through now 2 layers to get back up to where you want to ultimately with ZIL at this point. Now we have to draw the other side. We've got the uptrending support. Well, now we've got to get the downtrending resistance. Correct. You start coming through here, and we did mildly break up before, but what I like to do with these is, you start to pull back, so you have to see what it can do, and it starts to form itself into a little wedge. You see what's happening there? So I think that looks pretty good, except I think it should be pulled out just a tiny bit. I don't know, that does look pretty good. It's kind of got to go up a little bit, so we can fix that. Because we want to be accurate. If anything, we have our accuracy. If we don't have our accuracy, well, then we just become speculative like the FUD stations. And if I'm anything, I'm not fucking speculative. I will not be lumped in with those douches. So, notice I don't have my smiley, goofy face on every motherfucking update. You're listening to me? I can't fucking believe it. Let me bring my 8 face out. Must be the most annoying and biggest kick in the nuts if you're actually watching these people. Like, what the fuck are you laughing at, motherfucker? You just cost me fucking 18% again today. Stop fucking smiling. Miles, you've been smiling so long. How the fuck are you even up? Oh, anyhow. So, but look at the confluency, guys. We've got to move right to 6. What was this first one? 6255. And the second one to 6385. I mean, look at that. So now you're looking and you're like, all right, Zill's going to 6385, obviously. Look how confluent that is, though. You're talking about you want some evidence of what's going to happen. And now look what we did. Now we start trading between what you could say is a descending fractal. You start to trade like a weird type of pattern in here, too. I mean, look at this. It's boxed itself into the low area now. So from the top, it looked unlikely. But now that we're starting to get down, now my analysis is starting to not look so retarded. Or I don't like that word. Strike that from the record. I do not like that word, and nobody use that in my comments. The ridiculous look of this pattern is starting to play out now. So that's how we get what we're looking for. So we want to ride like that. So that's how we get to what we're looking for, guys. And when you start to break it down, does that not make sense? When you're honestly breaking that down, let me go into this real quick. I like to look at your guys' stuff through here. So when you're breaking this down, Steve, did it really? Holy shit. If you guys are interested in the ISO headquarters, let me get a... Because you guys already know my Swing Traders Anonymous, but if you're interested in getting to the ISO headquarters and getting there very easy... Oh, here, I'll join as part of the ISO headquarters because it's me. That's my cousin Isaac, or my nephew Isaac, who I let him do his channel on. He got 19 subscribers, but he hasn't been able to do it in a month because he got a different phone. Such a shame. So, oh yes, I'm that guy. I'm going to like my own stream. Ooh, 79 likes. So, I guess the stuff is in there too, so you could theoretically look in there. But here's the link to the ISO. Oh, is it not going to let me put the link? Okay, let me go back to my channel, guys. It won't dare block me from my own link. Unless, yeah, there we go. One more rundown through everybody. If anybody wants to send a donation, or if anybody wants to subscribe to the channel in particular, subscribe to the XRP Future Millionaire page if you're new. Aimster, subscribe to the channel 12 minutes ago. My guy, Dante Daniel Ortiz Velez, has subscribed to the channel 12 minutes ago. Sanket has also subscribed to the channel 12 minutes ago. What a run 12 minutes ago. And is that rubies or Robin? Did I get paid in 100 rubies? And now that I know that $10 is British pounds, I feel very blessed. I've been paid in, presumably, rubies, the British pound, and American money. Man, do I feel blessed. Yeah, I agree. Everybody needs to be subscribed to all my channels. Who did I see? Who did I see that said that they subscribed to my... Swing Traders is on 697 subscribers. So if anybody wants to join my Swing Traders Anonymous before I leave, I showed you guys the other one, so I might as well share this one as well. My Swing Traders Anonymous has been going on for about 50 days now. Right way to go with that channel. I knew it, and I felt it in my nutsack. It was tingling in my balls. And it said, Tom, you got to make a channel for the ISO lovers. You just have to do it. So, and here is the Swing Traders Anonymous. Oh, and who? Hold on, before I leave. Much one, thank you so much. And Steve Builds, thanks for making that 300. when we hit 300, and I seen, where's 1986 Baldwin. Thank you so much for quarters. That's who I was trying to find. Oh, we can do Doge real quick, guys, before I leave. I'll do Doge and Shiba, and then I'm going to exit. So I'm just going to end it right after that. So we'll do Shiba and Doge real quick. So Shiba, I've done a bunch of updated ones. We've got a 3-point drop. We've got the first one we obviously talked about was breaking that 20 cents. But we've got the drop to 1861 off of this current pennant when it decides to finally break down. It's an overextended one. And this is why I always say to overextend so that you can see, and then if it were to ride back up, and then it looks like that. And then if you were to overextend this one, it kind of would have crossed with itself. And look, it comes to the same area anyhow. So 1861 is the first drop off that. Actually, that's inaccurate. It's not 1861. It fell off to the side. I've been inaccurate this whole time. 1869 is actually where it's going to drop off of that one. But then the second pennant it dropped down into, it comes down to 1767. But this was the one from the top. I don't know why it keeps pulling out. But 1506 roughly is off of the top bull pennant, or bear pennant. But we had a 3-step drop as it's been forming. So I've been creating it for you guys so you can see it. I know it's messy. But it needs to be seen. All this needs to be seen. Because it's a 3-step drop. I don't know what the hell this is doing down here. But that fell off of the other zone. But that's what we're looking at, guys. 1869 is where we're going to likely end up off of this pennant we're in. But that overall bear pennant leads us to 1506. But it really is a 3-step drop. So, you know, this is what we're looking at. And we're going to have to face it sooner rather than later with Doge. And I'll redo that later on the ISO channel. And with Shiba, we've talked about a lot of Shiba. Wait a minute. No, I don't. Because I did do something here. Nah, we'll redo it, I think. I don't know what happened here. This whole thing got messed up. Wasn't that a pain in the ass? I must have fucked around when I was going from update to update. But Shiba's got a big problem. And we're just going to do it from here so you can see the drop that we're dealing with. Because I really do have to go now. I'm coming into time. My time's against me now. But I want to thank everybody who's tuned into the live stream. It's meant a lot. It's been a very, very nice live stream. So we'll draw it up to there. And this is going to be a mess for anybody who likes Shiba, by the way. Huge mess. See how it's working beautifully? That downtrending resistance is still playing true, even though it came through that pennant, theoretically. And I always say theoretically, because who knows? I might be full of shit. I might not even know what I'm doing and thinking I do. So, this is your drop, guys. The next drop is 576. And this is what you need to pay attention to, because it can very easily go farther, and we've talked about this. In this line down here, there's some confluency at this 532 or 528 area where it really does say it can come down here. And I think it was like 516. But I don't want to put it down there yet. But this is the next drop. This is the next drop. And because we failed out of that bull pennant, we have a bigger drop actually that needs to be dealt with. That's going to go down to about the 523 area. But in the short term, 576 would be the drop I'd be dealing with. Again, guys, thank you so much. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new or returning. And honestly, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Anybody who sent donations, Dr. Shantae for subscribing to Tom's Army during the live stream, and everybody else in between for watching and commenting. I love you all to death. Stay blessed, everybody, and it really means a lot to me that you'd stick around with me. Swing Traders is at $699. It sure is. It is at 699 subscribers. It is now. So stay blessed, everybody. Thank you, everybody. D-Man.